Hey guys, welcome back to TAMIYA Legends, and once again thank you for stopping by. So obviously today's edition is Schumacher Legends. I would imagine the majority of you guys who watch my stuff know exactly what the Schumacher Cat XLS is. And if you don't, we'll have a little brief, very brief history lesson. The idea of this video, I just want to show you what's in the box, a little bit about what's involved with building it, and talk about building it as well, because I've heard sort of nightmarish stories. But we're going to start with I'm going to read you this very short paragraph. The Schumacher Cat revolutionised off-road racing when it was introduced in '86, being years ahead of the competition. It became an international success, winning British, European, Japanese, Australian and American championships. It was updated with longer wheelbase, and the Masami Hirosoka went on to win the 1987 110 four-wheel drive IFMA Worlds in Romsey, England. That kind of sums it up and kind of tells you the pedigree of this as a racing buggy. This was an out-and-out racing buggy. So interestingly enough, when it was released in '86, it wasn't this version, it was the SWB, which stood for short wheelbase. Those things are mega rare to find. I know a couple of guys who have got them. These things don't come on eBay ever, that's how rare they are. So if you've got a short wheelbase edition, again, it looks pretty much identical to this. The bit where you kind of notice a short wheelbase is after on the canopy, the bit from the front of the front window to the back of the shell. That's like half the distance, and it's got a different box art. So if you're lucky enough to have one of those, you know, you're doing well. A year later, in '87, they brought the Cat XLS out. Now, if you wondered what Cat stands for, it stands for Competition All Terrain. XLS, not too sure. Extra long, maybe. I'm not too sure. I'm not what the S stands for. Someone in the comments can let me know. That'd be cool. It's a beast of a car, or it certainly was back in the day. This was not to compete with TAMIYA Hot Shots or anything like that. You know, this was winning championships against Yokos and Kyosho Mids. You know, that kind of quality car. And if you're English, you'll know that famous, if you YouTube that famous World Final Romsey, where our very own Jamie Booth's running, driving against Masami. Excellent footage. So as I say, we've got a new in-box one to build, which I'm super stoked about. Before we have a look in the box, my biggest dilemma about this car is how I'm going to finish the shell. This is actually not the first Cat XLS I've had, because as hopefully a majority of you guys know, I only used to collect cars and used to go in glass cabinets, just shelf queens, and it's only since we've relaunched this channel that I'm actually running this stuff. So my quandary is how I'm going to finish it, and the reason I've got a bit of a dilemma is I was very lucky to own a Masami Replica well before Schumacher had even thought about rearing it. Many years ago, and I can't exactly remember how many years ago, probably 8-9 years ago maybe, I'm guessing that. A good friend of mine who unfortunately is no longer here, Dan Rowlands, a lot of you guys will know him. He was RC through and through, and he'll always be Mr. Kyosho to me. He took it upon himself to get these replica Masami decals made. Very, very limited batch, and I believe it was about 40, and I was lucky enough to get one of those sets. I was also lucky enough to find an original XLS, and as the pictures show you, I cleaned it all up, sprayed it the colours, and then I had to wait for the decals to get produced, and then that picture is of me putting the decals on, and that was the car finished. So I've owned a replica already, and I know how good it looks. So my quandary is, do I do it in the Masami replica, or I've got a really strong urge to do it complete box art that looks like this. Now, I've already ordered the chrome wheels, and I've also ordered the spike soft front tyres for it, because on the kit it comes with some very narrow front wheels and tyres. I'm saying wheels, I don't know if the wheels are universal for those tyres, but the tyres are very narrow. I always like things to look how they did when they first came out. So drop it in the comments what I should do with this body. Should I do it the Masami Replica, or should I go for that, because I'm going to have the correct wheels and tyres front and back and chrome wheels, should I go for the 100% box art? I understand that box art does look a little bit dated now, it's very bland, but again, with the correct chrome wheels and tyres on, it would look amazing. Either way, we're going to run this car. It's gonna, with the wheels and tyres it comes with, that's what we're going to run it on, and the chrome tyres and the chrome wheels and the new tyres are just for the shelf when we're not using it. So let me know what you think. Just on that, I don't know if you'll know, you Schumacher guys will certainly know, Parma did a Fat Cat body for it, and it looks absolutely stunning, as you can see. Unfortunately, I can't give credit to the person whose picture this is, I just found it on Google. But as you can see, the Fat Cat just looks amazing, and I think it looks a little bit more modern as well than this body does. So I know I can buy a reproduction Fat Cat from a couple of companies, one in the UK and one in Canada. So that might be a route I go down, and maybe get some old livery from MCI Decals. It's something in my head is like getting the Fat Cat with the chrome wheels on and a full white body, and something like a Pepsi livery. I know it's old school, but I've seen it done with the Pepsi colours and the Pepsi logos, and it looks super cool. So let me know what you think about that. Finally, Schumacher is not only known for the cat. One of the biggest things I love about what Schumacher have done, they've kept the word cat all the way through this model, and every different improvement of it right up until today, which I think is awesome. So obviously you had the short wheelbase, I'm not going to name them all, short wheelbase XLS, and it went to Pro Cat, Boss Cat, SX, K versions. I'm not even sure what the latest four-wheel drive Schumacher is, K3 maybe, I've no idea. Again, you guys in the comments let me know. But Schumacher are still rocking it in the racing world, which is awesome. So let's open it up, because there's a couple of things you guys might not know about this kit. So one of the very most important things about the Cat XLS kit is that it's limited to the power you can put into it as a standard kit. So the standard transmission that comes with this car will only take up to a maximum of a 17.5 brushless system. I'd like to sort of equate that in sort of brush terms, because I'm going to be using an old school reeded brush motor. So I'm going to take a flyer and say it's something like 19 turn limit, which is not the end of the world. But if you bought one of these kits and you're thinking you're going to bang a 5.5 turn brushless system in, it ain't going to happen. Now at the same time Schumacher released this, they released the Pro transmission upgrade set, which I remember when this came out a couple of years ago, the whole thing, it did upset a lot of people, because obviously you're paying a lot of money for this kit, and then you had to pay, and it was about, from memory it was over £200 to get the Pro transmission. Now obviously what you get is you get much better upgraded diffs, you get a slipper clutch and probably better belts, I'm guessing. There could be other stuff with it. But you know, if you're paying $350 for a kit, then you've got to pay another $150 to $200 for a transmission. That becomes a very expensive kit. So luckily, this, for me, you know, this is not about speed at all and going crazy brushless. As I say, I'm going brushed in this. The second, but there's a few hop-ups, but they call them speed seekers. You've got the chrome wheels, you've got some bearing housings. It doesn't come with an anti-bar or anti-roll bar on the back, but it does come with standard one with on the front. And then you got some carbon goodies if you want to go that way. And there's lots of different chassis options that you can buy on eBay. You can go full carbon, you can go saddle pack arrangement. There really is a large choice you can do for it. So I just wanted to point out that transmission, because I think that's pretty important. So let's open the box up. One of the coolest things I like about this, when I opened it up for the first time, you've got this huge, thick manual. If you've only built TAMIYA, then this is going to be a different world. Now luckily, as I say, I have built quite a few different RC manufacturers' cars, and I do understand how they vary. One of the trickiest I built was the Team Associated RC10 when they reread it, and I found that quite tricky in places. This is the first thing I pulled out and I was like, what is this? Thinking it was maybe decals or something like that. Let me just pop this lid off. I think this is a nice touch. So you get a cat pen. You know, it's okay, it's cool. But this I found very cool. With the kit you get a certificate of authentication. Cat XLS Masami, and you get a couple of, you get Mr. Masami's signature, Cecil Schumacher and Phil both little signatures at the bottom, and that's a really cool thing. You could stick that in a frame and get that on the wall. It's a nice touch by Schumacher, very nice touch. So in the manual itself we get window masks, which I've seen other people build, and I don't know if it's across the board, but I believe these leave nasty sticky residue when you take them off. So that's not great. And then we've got the Masami Replica decals, which when they're on the sheet, they don't look too spectacular, but it's a colour scheme on the body shell, the black, red and yellow. And once these go on top, that's when you get that proper look. Manual, as I say, really thick. Now, there's a couple of things, I've just gone through this pretty quickly, but there's a couple of things that stuck out to me straight away. One of them is how early you actually have to cut out the under tray. You know, it's on page 4 and you're already cutting the under tray out, and it plays a big part in the chassis build, which is pretty different. There's a lot of super glue needed. I don't know if you can see that there. Let's lift that up to the camera. So super glue H1057. Now that comes into play all over this manual. Now it's not a bad thing, it's just, it's very rare that you have to super glue things on a kit. The other thing I want to point out, which I found, I don't want to say odd, but is this section here. So this is the front, to the camera. No, I can't do it like that. So this section here is the assembly of the front sway bar. So you have your sway bar rod and your ball ends. You have to solder the ball ends onto the rod, which is completely different. You know, that's something normally we screw on or whatever. So you've got a bit of soldering to do as well. And that's pretty much all I've found, to be honest. As I say, I've heard the drive shafts, the UJs are quite difficult to click in together. And I've heard the build schedule is there's a couple of items that should be in more at the beginning or more at the end, especially the steering. So yeah, it looks a lot more involved, but I've got to admit I'm super stoked about building it. That's the exploded parts view. It's got a nice quality to it as well, which I like. So let's just have a look at a couple of things in the actual kit. Just what I want to show you quickly. The kit comes with the Spike Soft rear tyres. Now, as I say, luckily they still make these, and I've ordered a full set front and back from Otley Model Spot in the UK. But this set will be getting used. But these are the fronts I was telling you about. Now, these are really narrow, and as you can see, they are different from the spikes are even different. But I have got a set, so the new set coming looks identical to this pattern, but obviously it's 3 studs wide, whereas these are 2 that come in. So it'll obviously handle a lot better with this narrower frontal, but for looks it's needed. It comes standard with the lovely black wheels. Now if you're a collector, you will absolutely guess, well, there's 2 ways of thinking about re-rees, I guess. These, you couldn't find Schumacher wheels for the originals. They were scratched to hell. The chrome ones were nigh on impossible to find. But I like the re-rees because it gives you, you know, you can buy these, you can buy a set of wheels now for like £8. You know, there's a big thing for the rear, and I do enjoy it. I'm not going to dig all this out because it's all packed nicely, and I don't want to have everything out until I actually start the build. So there we have it. Super stoked that I'm going to be building it. We'll put a build series together. How detailed I put it together is up to you guys, really. You know, we can build it in one short video and I miss a detail out, or if you want to see it in sections, if you can leave it in the comments. So the little bit of help I need from you guys, if you're still watching this, let me know about if you want to see it in the Masami replica colours, or if you want to see that true box art finish. I'm happy to do either. I can buy the original reproduction decals from MCI at $10, so either way, and obviously if I go completely box art, it's a much easier spray job because the shell's just black. So let me know about that, and also let me know about the Fat Cat if you want me to get hold of a Fat Cat body and we do some kind of retro vintage spray job on it. I'm quite willing to do that as well. And also, what do you guys feel about re-re's? And the reason I'm asking this on this video is obviously we've got quite a large TAMIYA Legends Facebook group, and I'm not going to say it's hate, but sometimes there's a lot of negativity against re-re's because some guys just wanted TAMIYA not to ever do them and just stay original. I disagree with that. You know, I'm very open to everyone who does whatever they want within this hobby. If you want to collect new in box and never open them, good on you. If you want to build them, never run them, put them on the shelf, good on you. If you want to open them, build them and rag them around, good on you. You know, there is no right and wrong to this. But the re-re argument, it comes and goes on the group. So what are your guys' thoughts on it? Is it a good thing, bad thing? As far as I'm aware, TAMIYA were the first to go down the re-re path. And then I don't know who the second company was. I want to say it was Kyosho who did it next, and then it was Team Associated with the RC10. Pretty sure Kyosho did the that yellow Beetle. I should know the name, but I don't. Anyway, just leave it in the comments and what you think. So I've rattled on long enough, guys. So once again, thanks for watching. It is really appreciated. And if you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing to support us. But most of all, please smash that notification bell so you get warning of our weekly videos. Because we really seem to be struggling to getting the videos out. We're getting more and more subs and less views. Yeah, I hear you shouting, well, your videos are rubbish, but if that was the case, and they are rubbish, I agree, but if that were the case, I'd be losing subs, but I'm gaining and the views are going down, and I just believe people are not getting notified. So there's not a lot I can do about that. That's down to you guys to hit that bell. So I'll shut up. So most of all, guys, have a great day, and most important of all, happy RCing.